Right now, coming to the stage, give it up for Ewan Woo!
Yeah, I got a little dog. She's really cute, you know.
Yeah, she seems cool.
Yeah, she's so cute. When other dogs see her, they go, "Oh my gosh, that dog is so cute." And then they go, "Oh my gosh, I can talk." The other day I was driving around, I got pulled over by a horse cop. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. You know, I didn't even know he was behind me until I heard this woo woo. It wasn't the siren making that sound either. It was the horse. You know, earlier this year, scientists reported for the first time 2 male humpback whales having sex. Yeah, Hollywood's already to make a movie about it. Yeah, they're gonna call it Humpback Mountain. It's weird how language changes over time, right? Like nowadays, if a guy came up to me and told me he was gonna blow my brains out, I wouldn't be sure whether to run away or pull my pants down. Hey, you know the NFL has one Asian player, and he's a kicker. Could you not find a more racist position for this guy? What, you're gonna make him go out barefoot in a karate uniform? Yeah, I was in the United States Army, 1st Cavalry Division in Fort Hood. It was pretty cool, you know. Thank you. You know, it's weird being the only Asian person, though. Yeah, every day people are just looking at me like, "Are we supposed to shoot this guy?" Okay, I'll tell you a little story. This story is when I saw real life cowboys. I don't know if you've ever seen real life cowboys, but they're pretty impressive, right? At least the ones I saw. And this time I was driving cross country, right? And I was in Nebraska. You know, I wanted to get a look around, right? So I got off the freeway. And right when I did that, I was like, oh crap, this is a huge mistake, right? Because there was like 50 cows like right in front of me, you know, they're like coming right at me, right? So I stopped my car, you know, I'm like, what the hell am I supposed to do now? You know, maybe I should back up or something? And then right then, they start partying, right? And I can see why, you know, these 2 guys are riding up on horses, you know? And they're like, yeah, 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 right? And because of that, they're partying, right? They're doing that for me, right? So I drive past them, you know, and I'm like looking at them and shit. I'm like, man, these guys are fucking awesome, right? They're like 6'4", 230 pounds. Maybe the older one's like 35, and the younger one's like 25. And I'm looking at them, I'm like, man, you know, because I've seen some tough guys, right, being in the Army. These guys are tough as nails and shit. And I just passed them like, man, these guys are fucking awesome. Look at these guys, you know, it's so impressive. And then I jerked off and went on with it. I'll tell you another little story. The day I met The Rock, right? Yeah, I was right here at the DMV, right over here, about 10 years ago. And I was getting my license renewed with my buddy, right? Waiting in line, and he's like, hey, you see that guy over there? There's like some guy in the middle of the room talking to some supervisor. I was like, yeah? He's like, I think it's The Rock, right? And I look, and I'm like, I don't think so, right? Because he looked kind of slim. But then he smiles, right? I'm like, you know what? Maybe, you know? And I look around the room, and everyone's just kind of looking at it, like pointing at it and stuff. And you can feel this like excitement, like building, you know? Like literally every second's like building. And at one point, this girl screams, it's The Rock, right? And so everyone's like, oh shit. Anyway, I go to get my picture taken, and he cuts the line, right? He cuts right in front of me, you know? He's like literally just standing like right in front of me, you know, just looking at me, right? And I could have asked for an autograph or a handshake or anything, but I was so starstruck. All I could do was just stare at him. You know, and he just looking at me like, whatever. And he turned and got his picture taken. And then like all these people were coming up to me, asking for autographs and stuff like that. And I was just watching him like, man, this guy's so cool. You know, he was just so happy that people were being nice to him and shit. I was like, man, if I ever meet The Rock again, I'm gonna go right up to him and go, it's The Rock, I can't help it. I'll tell you one more story, last story. This is, okay, yeah. You know, my family, they had a carpet cleaning company, right, in LA. So after I got out of the Army, I worked for them, right? And we did a lot of work in West Hollywood, because a lot of the other carpet cleaning companies, they don't want to go out there, you know? But we're immigrant carpet cleaning, so money's money, you know, we'll do anything. Anyway, I go to West Hollywood, I'm at this house, I follow this guy down this, whatever, into his house. And the way we clean carpets is we go to the end of the house first, and then we work our way backwards so that we're not stepping on areas that we already cleaned, right? So I go follow this guy down this long hallway, like loaded with these little framed pictures. And I go into this room, the only thing in the room is a bed. But on the wall, there's like this giant life-size poster of like this naked man. And he's like, eh. And on the other wall, there's like another poster with 2 naked men, you know? And one of them's holding the other's dick. They're like, eh. Anyway, I'm just cleaning. I'm like, all right, whatever, nothing to see here. Let's go. And I hit something under the bed, right? And it starts making noise. I'm like, what the hell is this? It's like, oh shit. I saw something that I can only describe as a beeping, blinking transformer dildo snake. Yeah, it was all like going blue, 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 you know? And then I didn't know how to turn it off and shit. It was all greasy, you know? I was like, oh fuck, you know? And then I finally turned it off and I threw it under the bed and shit. And by this time I'm like, fuck, you know, let me just get out of here, right? So I'm just getting out of here. And I'm in the hallway and I'm working my way and I see the pictures on the hallway wall. And those pictures were of other carpet cleaners with their dicks hanging out. I was like, oh no! And then I hear this, and I turn around, and it's the guy, you know? And he's got a camera in one hand and a $100 bill in the other. And you know, I'm not gay or anything, but money's money, so what the hell? Yeah, one of my buddies, he's Muslim, you know? So he doesn't eat pork, you know? But he's always trying to pork shame me. And he's always like, oh, gross, you eat bacon and sausage. I'm like, man, I'm Korean, right? We eat dog, right? Yeah, I was watching his Bigfoot show the other day. And it struck me as how dedicated these Bigfoot hunters were, you know? Yeah, they're like so devoted to something that might not even be real. Like comedians in their careers. Yeah, I was talking to this guy the other day. He told me he was Persian. I was like, you're Persian? From Persia? He's like, yeah, where are you from? I was like, the Han Dynasty, I guess. And what did the Australian chess player say to the waiter? Checkmate. Yeah, I think Shaquille O'Neal's like the happiest man on the planet, right? He's like always so jolly, you know? I think because he's never been messed with, right? Like, how are you gonna bully someone who's so tall that his crotch is in your face, you know? It's like, hey, Shaq, give me your lunch money. Never mind. Yeah, I've had sex with all types of women, like black, white, Mexican, Asian, you know. In my opinion, Asian women give the best blowjobs. Yeah. If any of you ladies like to prove me wrong, you can meet me in the bathroom in the back. Yeah, I was watching the Oscars this past season. Towards the end, I was getting all excited, you know. I was like, hey, look, they're bringing back the Mummy. But then I saw again, I was like, oh no, that's just Al Pacino. Yeah, I had a real bad haircut last month. Oh, it was horrible. You ever have a haircut so bad people start treating you differently? I'm like, this guy must have a learning disability or something. You know your shit's fucked up when the waitress at Denny's tying a bib around your neck. Yeah, I was eating pizza the other day, but you know, eating pizza by yourself is kind of depressing, right? Yeah, it's like eating cake or getting drunk by yourself. Basically like my last birthday. And a couple weeks ago, North Korea sent over 200 balloons over to South Korea. They were filled with like garbage and excrement. But that statement's not exactly accurate, because they weren't packed with shitty trash. No, they were filled with Dane Cook's jokes. Yeah, in retaliation for that, South Korea set up these loudspeakers, and they're like blasting like anti-communist propaganda and like K-pop, right? It's North Korea. And in retaliation to that, North Korea set up their own loudspeakers. But in North Korea, they don't have to have like BTS and stuff, you know? So they just blast like the most annoying sounds they could think of. And you probably guessed it. Matt Rife comedy special. Yeah, you know, there's a new disorder going around called Usher syndrome. Yeah, it makes you go blind and deaf. That's pretty serious, right? You know, because I always thought when you got Usher syndrome, it just made you go, yeah! Yeah, you know, the rapper Macklemore came out with a new pro-Palestine song called Hinds Hall. You know, most people who aren't paying attention to the war, they don't know anything about Hinge Rajab. You know, I'm Generation X, you know, so I know about her story. One thing I don't know as a Generation Xer, though, is who the fuck is Macklemore? Yeah, O.J. Simpson died, a couple months back. That was pretty crazy, right? The crazier part is how he crashed the internet. Yeah, basically, the second he died, half America got online and was like, who the fuck is O.J. Simpson? Okay, thank you. Yeah, this past April 4th is a new national holiday. It's a now National Burrito Day. It's pretty cool, right? And the next day, April 5th, is now National Toilet Clogging Day. I'll end with this last joke. You know, comedians will always tell you two things, right? They'll always tell you when they just got booked on a show, and they'll always tell you when they just had sex. That's a bit juvenile, right? Like myself, I haven't been booked on a show in over a month. But I did get laid last week, so hooah! All right, my name's Iwan, I'm out here.
for the 4 o'clock mic. We are running a few minutes behind, so bear with